Hey everyone, and welcome to the club, and welcome to another weekend art challenge. Today I'll be fusing Iron Man with Spider-Man. So I'm going to be drawing this character in a 3/4 pose facing towards the left with the hand out like this. So let's start with the eyes. I'm going to start with the left eye here. We're going to draw a curve for the upper brow, starting from the outside. I'm going to curve down and in. Let's leave a gap in the center and do the same thing on the right side. Starting at the bottom, curve out towards the right side. On the left side here, I'm just going to step over towards the right and draw the curve for the bottom of the eye. So stepping over, we're going to curve down and back in towards the inside of the eye. Let's come down and then pull that back up. We're going to add a little depth to the inside of the eye here. So we're going to step in and just curve around, just taper it to the bottom of the eye. Let's do the same thing on the right side. Now we're going to take this point, curve down, and we're going to tuck that in on this side here. Curving down to the bottom of the eye, and we're going to pull that all the way up to the top. Now we want to add a little bit of the inside edge on this side here. So we're just going to start up here, go over to the left, and just curve down and taper it out near the bottom. Let's connect the eyes with a little bridge detail in the center here. So on the inside of the left eye, we're going to angle in, and on the right, we'll angle up and in. We'll connect those 2 points with a straight line going across. Let's work our way above the top of the head here. So from this side on the left, we're going to curve up and in, just along the profile edge of the face. From here, we're going to curve up and inwards. This. Now, above the right eye, we're going to take this curve and just sort of duplicate on this side, but because the head's rotated, you're going to see a longer line curve on this side. So starting up here, we're going to curve down towards the side on the right, just past the eye here. Let's take these 2 points and angle in with a slight curve. So from this point on the left, we're going to curve inwards. On the right side, we're going to curve out. Right about there. We're going to connect those 2 points with a straight line. It's going straight across. Let's go back down to the left side here. So just beside the eye here, we're going to curve out the cheek. Starting over here, we'll curve out. Now we're going to take this point and angle in. The short angled line. On the right side here, because the head's turned, you're going to see a little bit more of the temple side here. So we're going to take this line and curve down just about the same height as we have on the left. Starting up here, we're going to curve down and inwards to right about there. We're going to angle in towards the cheek. Curve, a straight angled line coming in. Now we're going to curve down towards the chin. So from this point on the left, we're going to curve down. I want to make the chin quite short. So on the right, we're going to curve down and in. We'll connect those 2 points with a curve for the bottom of the chin. Curving down in the middle. We'll come up on the right side. Let's add the detail for the mouth. So on either side, along these lines, we're just going to draw a short angled line coming in, like that. We're going to angle upwards with a diagonal, very short line going up. Now we're going to connect those 2 points with a curve for the mouth. A curve across. Let's thicken that up. So we're going to move down and just thicken that up with a thick black line, working our way across from left to right. Let's fill in this little gap on the side here with the lower jaw. So from that point, we're going to step over towards the right, curve down. Now we're going to tuck this in underneath the chin. So there's a slight overlap of the chin on top. We're going to do the same thing on the right side. So from this point, we're going to step up. We're going to curve out towards the right. Now you can see it's past this point here because we want to pull this up and connect with the top of the head. But before we do that, we're going to draw that little ear cover on the side. So just beside the eye here, we're going to curve in and then out. We're going to take those 2 points and angle 2 short lines going out. We're going to connect those 2 points again with a curve that goes in. Now we're going to curve the outside of the ear cover. We're going to go out in the opposite direction up towards the top. Now we can take that point and just curve it in underneath that ear cover, just like that. Let's draw on the top of the head. So from that point, we're going to step over towards the right and just draw a curve going all the way back behind that ear cover. So over here, we're going to curve up to the top of the head, and we're going to pull this down in behind that ear cover. You'll probably see a little bit of the ear cover on the left side, just like we did on the right, just peeking out beside the eye here. So I'm just going to draw a little curve like that. I want to add some of the webbing in Spider-Man's mask up on top around the side of the face here. So we're going to start in the middle here and curve up to the top of the head. Curving up. We're going to take this point and curve up as well. So we're going to curve up to the top of the head, and then this point we're going to curve up and out. We're going to curve out from this point as well, just looking for areas that we can add these lines coming out. Let's add the cross sections. So up here, we're going to draw a curve towards the center, and then we're going to curve out on the right side. Let's do one more up here. So curving up towards the middle, then we'll curve out towards the far right. Now we're going to take that point and curve it out towards the left side. Over here, we're going to tuck this in behind the main part of the mouth. So curving down. Now underneath the jaw area here, we can just simply take this point, curve down. We'll take that point there and curve down and out. And over here as well, we're just going to curve down. Now for the body, I just want to draw the body sort of turn in the opposite direction that way with the hand sticking out this way. So we're going to start with the hand first because it overlaps everything else. So let's start with the hand placed in here. We're going to start with the thumb first. So up here, we're going to curve up towards the face, and then we're going to pull that back in. Let's work our way up towards the fingers. So along this thumb, we're going to curve up towards the first finger, and we're just going to pull that back down. Now I want to fold the second finger in towards the palm. So I'm going to take this point, curve up with a short curve, come down, and I'm just going to pull this up in between that curve like that. Let's draw this third finger sticking out straight this way. So beside this finger, we're going to go up, and then we're going to pull that back down. Now in here, I just want to draw a little bit of a palm line. So I'm just going to draw a curve like that. Let's take that point and curve down the bottom of the wrist, down here. So from this point, I'm going to curve down, and I'm going to pull that up like that. We're going to do an overlap for the back side of the palm. So up here, we're going to overlap, curve down, and right into that thumb. Let's draw a little circle in here. So behind this finger, right on the side here, we're just going to draw a nice big circle tucked in behind like that. From this point, we can start working our way in towards the body. So let's layer in the forearm behind this hand. So up here, I'm just going to curve around in between the finger and the thumb, and then pull this in underneath the hand and just tuck that in like that. Now from here we need to draw in the body because the shoulder sort of overlaps on top of that. So again, we're going to face the body that way. So up here, we're going to curve the body this way. Up underneath the chin, we're going to curve down and out towards the right. Now this is going to curve along the waistline. So I want to sort of measure out the waistline. I'm going to curve across like that. Now this is going to come back up this way. So I'm going to merge the hip in towards the shoulder. So from this point, I'm just going to curve up in behind that thumb. Now let's add in a little shoulder pad. So up here, in this gap, I'm just going to draw a curve. I'm going to pull this in this way. So just around the shoulder like that. Let's finish off the back side of the upper arm. So right here, behind this forearm, I'm going to curve like that. On this side of the body, I want to draw that same shoulder pad, but it's going to be tucked in behind the body here. So I'm just going to draw a curve like so. And then this hand here, I'm just going to have in sort of that position facing out towards the right. So we're going to locate that right here. We're going to start with the thumb. In the wrist area, curve around, come down, and then we're going to pull this up in between that curve like that. Let's add the first finger. So beside the thumb here, curve out, and then we're going to pull that back in behind the thumb. We're going to fold the second finger. So we're going to come about halfway down, curve down, and then tuck that in behind the thumb. For the third finger, we're going to stretch this out again. So we're going to go up here, curve out. Now we're going to bring this all the way back, and I want to merge in with that wrist line. So just a nice simple curve like that. If you want, you can actually overlap this line by just pulling it up like that. Again, I want to add a little bit of a palm line here. So right here, I'm just going to draw a short straight line. You can do the same for the upper finger, going in behind that finger like that. Now let's add the forearm. So right up here, I'm just going to curve in behind that shoulder. On the bottom of the hand here, we're going to curve in as well. I want to draw a little separation in the forearm. So I'm just going to draw a curve across like that. You might see a little bit of the shoulder peeking out behind the shoulder mount. So right here, curving around like that. Let's draw on the legs. So I'm going to have this leg on the right bent, this leg sort of stretched out this way. So we're going to start with the lower torso first. So just down the middle here, I'm going to draw a curve from left to right, just to split the left and right leg. On this side, we're going to start with the upper thigh. From this hip, we're going to curve out towards the knee. Now we're going to go straight down with a straight line for the shin. On the back side here, we're going to start over towards the left from that point, draw an angled line, going towards the back of the knee, and then curving down towards the heel. Now this is going to be the foot. The bottom of the foot curves up towards the top of the foot. So from the heel, we're going to curve all the way across to the toe. Now I want to curve and just overlap that line there in the shin. curving up and across like that. Let's add a little sole. So we're going to step up from the bottom and just thicken up the sole across. Let's get into the leg on the left. So again, from this point, we're going to step over towards the right. So there's a nice overlap curving down towards the heel. We're going to stretch out the foot with a curve. Bottom of the foot, and want to make sure that the feet are roughly the same length. From this toe, I'm going to curve the top of the foot. And then from the hip, we're going to curve down towards the top of that curve, right in the middle like that. Let's add some detail to the boot. So there's this little thing that sticks out above the knee. So right along, halfway along this line, I'm going to curve down, and I'm going to do an angled line coming back, and we're going to curve in towards the back of the leg, like that. We'll do the same thing over here. So right from that knee, we curve across, just like we did on the left here, angle down, and then we're going to curve to the back of that knee, like that. Let's add the sole on the left foot. So just duplicating that line all the way across. We're going to add 2 lines for the lower pants. So from here, we curve up and out towards the left. And on this side, I'm going to curve it in the opposite direction, curving around this way. From this point, let's go back to the chest area and add some more detail here. So I'm going to start with a little spider symbol in the middle here. So right here, the center of the body actually curves this way. So the center is right under here. I'm going to start with a short angled line like that. We're going to draw 2 curves going up from the middle. I'm going to curve these back down. Now this can get very detailed in that small space. From these points, we're going to angle in with a short line like that. Let's go into the second set of legs. From these points, we're going to curve around the top, and we're going to pull these back up around the sides. Let's curve these back down, so tapering these lines so it gets wider as it comes down. Now we're going to pull these back in again, so curving in. Now the second, third row is going to come around and down. So from this point, we're going to angle out like that, curving down around the sides, and pull these back up, and then we'll just angle in towards the body. Like that. And then finally, this last row, we're going to go out in an angle, short angle, hook the ends down, and then we're going to connect those 2 points with a big half oval that goes up and then back down. Let's add a little bit more detail here. We're going to add a little belt line along the top here. So just curving across the bottom, just following that same curve below. And we're going to split the middle in half behind the spider. So right up here underneath the chin, we'll curve in behind the spider and then down below it. I want to add a little bit more armor lines underneath. So right here from the shoulder, we're going to curve in behind the spider and out on the right side. And then we'll just curve the bottom around the abdomen. So right here we'll curve down, and you probably won't see much on the right side here. Let's add a little bit more armor in the boots here. So right up here, I'm just going to trim out the top. So just following that same curve all the way around. We'll do the same thing on the right side. So just leaving an even spaced gap all the way around. We'll split the toe with a toe cap. So up here, just going to curve across. On the right, we'll do the same thing. And that is pretty much it. There's our Iron Man, Spider-Man fusion. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.